So this last weekend acted as a great reminder to me as to why we should all get out of our houses and our offices. It was a busy weekend. On Friday, I went down to Cheltenham for our. We have a meeting every few months, and it acts for two things. It works for two ways. The first one is that we get to meet up. The partners, my business partners, and I get to meet up. Plus, we have other people in the meeting who are always interesting people. I personally like the smaller groups. We had like a group of 8 people. It's easier to talk. It doesn't take so much organising, getting into restaurants or what have you. But out of those 8 people, 4 of us were Prompt Core Dynamics partners, my business partners. And it's great that everybody gets together. Simon comes up from the Isle of Wight. Matt's already in Cheltenham. He's the lazy one. He has it in Cheltenham. And John comes in from Bristol. And then we had some other people as well in the same industry. And it's acted as a reminder that nothing beats getting out meeting people. We have a weekly call on a Thursday every 4 o'clock. We have a partners Zoom call, which is great, and we get a lot done with those. But nothing beats sitting down over dinner or having a few drinks. It's always the same thing. Friday night, most people drink too much. Although I'm seeing every year that goes by that happens less and less the older we get. As most people know, I'm not a heavy drinker. I had probably 4 or 5, maybe 6, maybe even 7 Guinnesses, but that was my limit. Don't do shorts, don't do spirits, etc. But so on Friday night it's a bit more of a jolly occasion, and on Saturday evening dinner is a bit more relaxed, and it's always on the Saturday evenings that we get a lot done. So my weekend went something like this. Got down to Cheltenham. I actually had a meeting prior to that in Cirencester on a new racing pigeon related deal that I'm doing, which was a really good meeting. Then I went to Cheltenham, had a few drinks, had dinner with the guys, and it met some really new people, really great new people. One of them was a guy called Mike Martin, who I'd never met, and if I'm absolutely honest, didn't know too much about prior to meeting him, but a really interesting guy from Manchester, now lives in Weymouth area, who does really, really well with webinars. And we had a good night Friday. Then I had to get up at ridiculous o'clock, considering I didn't go to bed till 2 o'clock in the morning. I was up at 7 and out for 7:30 because I had to go to Epsom. I had to go to the Epsom show went down there, recorded the auction, met good people, and again, always great. I've never been to the Epsom show before, but never been to the Epsom show in springtime before, but was really good. Videoed the auction, met some people, and again, always good to meet good people, and makes you realise that there's a definite power in meeting people face to face. So although I was completely knackered, not just from the weekend, but I'd been doing all of this outside work, working on the lofts and what have you for about 10 days before. So then I had the decision of, do I go home or do I go back to Cheltenham for the Saturday? And I went back to Cheltenham for the Saturday, which I'm really glad I did. By then the group had got smaller, people had to go back, etc. So it was just the 5 of us. It was the 4 PCD partners and Mark Bishop, who's a really good guy. So we had dinner, and then we had a few drinks, and in a pub and a few drinks after, that's where the magic happened. About an hour and a half sitting down, making sure we didn't just talk about conspiracy theories and what have you, and me kind of leading it in a way, which without wanting to sound big-headed, that's kind of my role a little bit in leading the directions to where we're going for this year, utilising the amazing skills of all of us as partners and what we do individually well. And that's why the Prompt Core Dynamics partnership works so well. You've got a replacement of a dynamic. Before Simon Hodgkinson, became a partner, I was always the one where the guys needed to rein me in on thinking and plans. And now Simon Hodgkinson, the mad professor that he is the one that has to be reined in a little bit. So basically, yeah, how are we going to take prompt core dynamics to the next level? And we've got plans. And that about an hour and a half before I said, listen, guys, I've got to go, was golden. We planned out what we're going to do, genuinely excited by the plans for the rest of the year. And driving back from Cheltenham on Saturday evening, it was a really good feeling to have, as I say, I speak to these guys every week. I speak to some of us speak every day. But that physical meet-up, having a few drinks and discussing everything about what we're doing, what we're planning, not just business stuff, we discussed life and everything. Nothing will beat that. So in many ways, the weekend consisted of my two favourite things, talking about business and what we're doing, and pigeons. What a great weekend. So yeah, it just reminded me, and use this yourself. Get out there. Nothing beats getting out there, meeting people you know, meeting new people and what have you. And I'm sure as a result of this weekend, new things will come, new relationships will be formed. And like the big thing for me is that our plan is set now for the rest of the year for Prompt Core Dynamics. And what I really like about it is that it separates some of the things we're doing with Prompt Core Dynamics with what I'm doing Real Entrepreneur, and actually complements them in a way. So yeah, it's a reminder of what great weekends you can have. And as partners, what a great team we've got. You know, we've got Simon, Hodge is the mad professor, always thinking of new stuff. John is one of the best programmers, coders you'll ever meet. Matt is great at doing what he does with speaking to people, developing courses, developing content and getting out there. And I do whatever I can to help as well. And to a degree, lead the vision, as it were. I think I've always been a decent visionary, sometimes too much. Timing's everything. We've discussed this before in the past. But what a great team we have. And yeah, it was a really good weekend. So, reminder is, get out there, meet people. That's where stuff gets done. It's funny, the best deals and stuff I've ever done have never been online. They've always been face-to-face meeting people. And I think it serves as a reminder for everybody that should be done. Catch you soon. Have a good rest of your day and week.